Well, hey everybody, how you doing? I'm glad you're here. Welcome back to our Monday live show. We will be here next week. I haven't even looked on the calendar to see what day Christmas is, but anyway, we'll be doing some live stuff as we get going through the holidays, and hopefully you're safe where you are with more and more lockdowns happening. It's great that you're here. Okay, a couple of things. Some new videos are going to be dropping tomorrow. The MDX. I just wanted to make sure I don't have any of the pictures up here. So there is a video on my computer. It'll be uploaded tonight and will be on tomorrow around 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern, 11:30 here on the Pacific Coast. And also there's a new Nissan Kicks video launching tomorrow as well. So they've updated that vehicle. So you'll see all of that. It's all under embargo right now, but we'll give you the details tomorrow. Okay, so we have some pictures to do. First is Raj. Is a regular here. There's his Audi TT in the snow. All I can do is laugh. In Mississauga. Mr. and Mississauga, the city with no downtown. So it's better that the snow is there and not here. Next up, we have Mike in New Jersey. He has 3 cars on display. The first one, he's got a GTI. The next one, he has a GLA. And the third one, he's got a Model 3. So he likes the smaller cars, the compact cars. That's cool. Excuse me. And next up, we have, I hope I say this correctly, Maxim. Is that right? He's in the GTA, and he just got a Crosstrek manual and is absolutely loving it. So there you go. That's a nice vehicle. Brand new as well. There you go. What else is going on that I need to take? Oh yeah, CarCostCanada. Sign up using the promo code MotorMouth and become an expert member. I forgot, almost forgot. At the very beginning, I have to do my poses for Andrea. She uses these screenshots for Instagram. You ready? It's my modeling. There you go. Got that out of the way. All right, on to the questions. What's the difference between all season tires, all weather tires, and winter tires? Are all weather tires safe to run year round? I'm in Toronto. Excuse me. Well, let's do this the easy one first. And that is all season tires are nothing more than a marketing gimmick, okay? That was dreamt up, I believe, in the 70s by the tire manufacturers to come out with a tire. The worst offense, in my opinion, is on the side of all season tires. It has M plus S or M and S, and a lot of people believe this means mud and snow. So they're under the impression that it's really a winter-capable tire. It isn't. So an all-season tire really should be a 3-season tire for spring, summer, and fall. Now next, you have a dedicated winter tire. Now that has more siping to get rid of water and to get more traction on the road in snow and ice and sleet and slush. And on the side of that tire, in Canada, there's a special symbol. It's a mountain with a snowflake on the side. Now that means that it has the ability to be used in the winter. Now in between the two is what's called an all-weather tire. So it has to be able to achieve a certain slip test as determined by the Rubber Association and Transport Canada. And once it's passed that slip test, then it can be deemed an all-weather tire. And it too will have the mountain snowflake symbol on the side. The difference is that it is actually certified to use in the winter, where an all-season tire is not. Now, can you use them all year round? The next question is from Richard McFarlane. He's asking a similar question. I run my all-weathers all year round in Victoria. Just understand they will wear faster than all seasons and summer tires, but you do not have to change your tires when the weather changes. So he's answering Jason's question. You don't have to change your tires. You can leave them on all year round. Now, some tires, for example, the Toyo Celsius, actually has quite a long rating for wear. So you can have a tire that is able to drive on all year round, does has passed that slip test, does have the mountain snowflake symbol on the side, and will last quite a long time. So that is one that I know about because I've done some work with Toyo, is the Toyo Celsius. So they are out there, and if you don't want to change your tires, but you still want to be, doing the right thing in the winter, an all-weather is the way to go. G70 launch tomorrow. Any thoughts on the Genesis brand and what you expect to see from this car? Well, I think that they're going to do a great job. They have done a good job. They are doing good work when it comes to the design. I don't like the new infotainment system. I'm going to say it again. I think it's a bit of a hot mess. The new infotainment system that's in the G80 and the GV80. I'm not sure if it's going in the G70. We'll have to wait and see. That I think needs some work. What I don't like, though, is where I think they're going with their pricing. I think that Genesis has been reading their own press releases just a little bit too much. What made the G70 such a star and why it was chosen for Car of the Year and all of these other things is because it offered a lot of content, a lot of power, a lot of features, but at a price that was less than everybody else. With the GV80 and the G80, in my opinion, they're charging similar prices to other brands. I just don't know if that's gonna fly. I just don't. For example, as I mentioned, on the computer is the new MDX video, and you'll see that tomorrow. And without, disclosing too much, I think that the MDX is the king of the mid-size utilities when it comes to sales. They've sold over 1 million of them. It is the best-selling three-row mid-size SUV, and the GV80 is really up against that. If they believe that they're up against the German manufacturers, I don't believe it. I think they're up against Lexus, Acura, and Infiniti. I think that's who people are going to cross-shop them with. That's just my view. Eric is saying, I was pleasantly surprised you got an Audi review in British Columbia. Any chance you could see Audi's take on the Q3? We already know you like it. Yeah, I like it. It's one of my favorites. Just so you know, next week, the Q3, we'll be doing a review. We'll be taping it next week. It'll be coming out in a few weeks. But yeah, your point is taken. That vehicle is going to be coming out soon. All right. Bruce Maddow, massive Hyundai recall fine. Why don't car manufacturers ever learn? I think, I wonder, are you talking about the fires? Kia as well. And Raj is here. Hey, Raj, nice to see you. Cool picture of your car. Thanks for sending that in. Any recommended all-weather tire brands? Goodyear, Assurance, Toyo. So the king really of the all-weather tire is Nokian. They have a line called WR. They were the ones that really kind of started this. General Tire, which is owned by Continental, European car brand. They have a North American line called General. So General has an all-weather tire that is really quite good. I believe it's sold at Canadian Tire. Toyo, as I mentioned, their Celsius are quite good. Michelin has one. The name of it off the top of my head, I can't remember. But yeah, there's lots of, there's more and more all-weather tires coming. So lots of, stick with a reputable brand. Okay, don't go off-brand on these things. Don't just save a couple of bucks. Spend the money and invest in a good set of tires capable of driving in the winter. Funny you should mention this because yesterday I just switched over our wheels and tires on our Cayenne. I have my own floor jack and I do it out in the back lane. And I swapped over our all-season tires that we drive on for spring, summer, and fall, and then switched to the winter tires, which are Dunlops, I believe. Are they Dunlops? Yeah, I think they're Dunlops. And they're just a straight winter tire, but a performance winter tire. West Coast. Hi, Zach. I heard the new Bronco will be delayed till summer due to COVID. Does that apply to the Bronco Sport also? Thank you. Smash the like button, peeps. Yeah, you could smash the like button. That'd be great. We're only at 30 likes and we have 110 plus people on. I haven't heard anything about that. I mean, I've been so busy, to be honest with you. I'm not up to date on all the latest automotive news, like what's breaking with all the different brands. But I I don't know. The problem is if you get a massive COVID outbreak in one particular factory that's making one particular car, yeah, they could shut it down for a while. But you would think it would be delayed maybe by a couple of weeks. Like say they actually had to just shut the whole thing down for 2 weeks and then come back. That would be interesting to see. So I'll have to read up on that. We have Brian saying, hello, Zach. We have JS Brobbery 200. Hi there, Zach. Vanilla Donut. The new Nissan Kicks has been out in Europe and Asia for a while. Are you able to tell us why Nissan decided to wait a year to release the new look? Well, the video is going to drop tomorrow morning. So when you wake up and having your cornflakes or whatever you have, the video will be out. Why? I don't know what the deal is and what their thought process is, but there you go. Brian is asking, in your opinion, what is the purpose of life? I reckon cars will have something to do with your perspective. What's the purpose of life? I don't know, man. This is not really where I think people come for deep thoughts. Maybe some thoughts on cars and, shooting the BS, but I'm not really your guy for that. What's the purpose of life? I'll tell you what it is. A couple of things. Make enough money so you can always fly business class. And make enough money so you can buy some fun cars. And make enough money, first and foremost, to look after your family. I think when you have a household that you're running, making the money part is important. Why would Ford make two types of Broncos? Bronco and Bronco Sport is one unibody. Yes. So the Bronco Sport is basically the Ford Escape platform, and then they turn it into a Bronco. The real Bronco is based on the Ford Ranger platform. Oh, welcome, Jack. Come on in. Have a seat. Everybody wants to see you.
Do they?
Yeah. So look at the camera right here. What's going on in sports?
Nothing, because there's nothing on.
There's no Monday Night Football?
Oh, there is Monday Night Football. I'm not watching, though.
And what happened with the Seahawks?
Don't even want to get me started. That was horrible. Like, the Giants are like one of the worst teams in the NFL.
I listened to sports radio, Team 1040 here in Vancouver, and they were saying there's something wrong with Russell Wilson.
I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I think he's just not as good as he was earlier in the year.
No, I think he's injured.
He could be, but he's not playing well. He was the front runner for MVP. Now he's not even top 2.
Well, there you go.
So
anything else you want to say to your fans? Sorry, your fan. Mom's upstairs watching.
Oh yeah. The Raptors home opener, not home opener, season opener.
Oh, somebody asked Jack, what's the meaning of life?
What? How am I supposed to have the answer to that?
All right. Okay. That's kind of what I said. I don't know.
The meaning to life. What? What's the meaning to life?
Jack's meaning to life is getting on his. What is it? What do you got again? A PS5? He's got the new console. What is it? I think it's called a PS5. He's crazy for it. There you go. Love your reviews. Do you have any news on Venza Prime electric hybrid? Should I expect it next year? That, my friends, is the subscriber sip. If you're new to this and you're watching this after we've gone live, because all the people watch live, they subscribe already to the channel. If you watch this after the fact and I have a sip, you subscribe. Or if you could subscribe again, that'd be good. And how many people are on right now? 161 now. All right, we can get more thumbs up there. No news on the Venza. The one thing I will tell you about Toyota is that they keep their cards very close to their chest. Now,
I didn't hear that. I was upstairs.
Is it a
PS5?
PS5, yeah. Okay. There you go. They keep their cards very close to their chest. So a year ago, in November, just over a year ago, I was with Toyota in Japan and spent a week with the top executives at Toyota Canada and executives in Japan, plying them with beer, trying to get information out of them. They don't tell you anything. They're very well trained that way. So, I mean, I could talk to you and say, oh, yeah, there's going to be... Nobody really knows until we know. Hey, I think we got a super chat. TK Porsche's here. Let's go down and see what TK Porsche has to say. Because I do like a super chat. If you want to type below and donate a little something to the channel, a little Christmas gift for Zach, my birthday's coming up on Sunday. So you could do a little super chat. That would be good. Looking forward to your Taycan review coming later this week. Do you think Taycan sales values will track other Porsche models long term? That, in my opinion, is a really, really interesting thing to watch. I am not convinced that you're going to be able to get the kind of resale value you can, especially with the Porsche sports cars. Maybe tracking more in line with how the Cayenne and the Macan depreciate, their mainline cars where they make a lot of them. I just don't know. I just don't think so, because the one thing about electric cars that we all know, there's going to be, new updates, longer range batteries, more power. Maybe there's going to be a cheaper, instead of Taycan 4S, there's just going to be a Taycan with less range and less power that will be easier for people to get into. I don't know. If you look at certain models of Tesla, they have held up quite well when it comes to resale value. But just think about buying a 911 Carrera S or Carrera 4S and knowing, we were talking to a neighbor the other day and he says, why don't they go down in value? I said, because there's limited supply, and if you want one and someone has it for sale, you got to pay for it. And I just don't know if that's going to be the same with the Taycan. If I was betting with your money, with your $20, I would say I don't think they're going to track the same way they do with the other vehicles. But thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. All right, where the hell was I? Yankee Doodle. I just purchased a new old stock 16 Volkswagen Touareg TDI. Thoughts on the car? I paid $55K out the door. So is it brand new, never been registered? Yankee Doodle, please type below, because if that's the case, how did you get a car that's been sitting for 4 years? Like, mine was new old stock when I got mine, but I've had it for 2.5 years. So it's been registered for 2.5 years. Maybe because the one thing about it is, if it is new old stock and it has just been sold, then you will have an amazing 10-year warranty. So please write below, Mr. Doodle. And put it this way, I have the Porsche equivalent, which is the Cayenne diesel, and I absolutely love it. So if this is your first diesel, you are going to just fall in love with the torque, and also the fact that there's not many around. And these ones, by the way, I think will hold their value long term because there's just not many around. Here's some good feedback. Used CarCostCanada when I bought my Civic last year. Saved a ton of money. So there you go, CarCostCanada. Sign up using the promo code MOTORMOUTH, which is the name of the channel, and use it and save dough. So there you go. Scott Burke just saved a bunch of money on a Civic. Now think about it. If he saved a lot of money on a Civic, which isn't an expensive car, it is obviously to Scott it is, but you know what I'm saying. There are much more expensive vehicles that they cover. So if you're even looking at a prestige car, there might be even bigger savings. Florin is here asking, when is the new Sorento review coming? So let me just look at my calendar. I get the Sorento on the 21st, and I have it all the way through the holidays. So I will have it coming up. Now, what have I done? I've screwed myself here. Ah, crap. Hang on a second here. There it is. If something goes missing, I can't read. I got to read multiple screens here, so I apologize. So yes, I get the Sorento on the 21st of December, so not too long away, a couple of weeks. And then I have it for 2 weeks. We also have the GV80 at the same time, so we have two utilities, both Korean, and those will be coming in the new year. So we have to videotape them and then edit them, and then of course there's the holidays, so it'll be in January. Hey Zach, what's more of value buy between Honda CR-V Sport and the Hyundai Santa Fe. I'm looking at a non-fussy everyday family SUV, and I really like these two cars. Mayor from Toronto. Now, the new Santa Fe is coming. So this is a perfect example of where you need to go to CarCostCanada and sign up. Use the promo code MotorMouth. So if you're not aware, there is a brand new Santa Fe. And let me just, am I confusing my Hyundais? I'm thinking Tucson. Sorry, there's a new Tucson coming. But regardless, please go and check in what the resale values are. They're both fine. Not the resale values, what the discounts are. They're both excellent choices. The CR-V Sport is actually quite nicely equipped. It has been a while since I've driven the Santa Fe. It's been at least 2 years. So I'm a little on my back foot about that one. But I suggest you go and drive them both, see what you like, what works for your family, and then go from there. So that's what I would suggest. I would also say for a no-nonsense vehicle, I would also look at the Toyota RAV4. So if you're looking at a base model Santa Fe and the CR-V, both use what's called continuously variable transmission. I prefer, 6 or 7 or 8-speed automatic, and that's what the RAV4 has. So if you're looking for a no-fuss, no-muss sort of just good basic transportation, also try the Toyota RAV4. I'm seeing another super chat coming in here from LA, 707 horsepower. There you go. I appreciate that. Oh, you didn't even have a question, but you're just so. Is that a birthday gift, a Christmas gift, or just supporting the channel? I appreciate that. By the way, my birthday's next Sunday, this coming Sunday. So you can really load up on the Super Chats next Monday. All right, we've got 190 people on board right now and 81 thumbs up. So if you can give the channel a smash the thumbs up, that would be great. Hey, Zach, what do you think? We actually need winter tires in Vancouver. I have them, but are they really useful a few times a year? Well, G-Flow, if you live in Vancouver and you've lived through the last 5 years, we've actually had quite a bit of snow. And it might even be more useful here because you know, and I know because we live here, and other parts of the country probably can't believe this, but they don't plow anything but the main roads. So the main roads where the buses go and what have you, they plow them. All of the side streets, they do not plow. And when we get a big dump of snow, and it has happened over the last 5 years, maybe even a foot or so of snow, and then people drive up and down and it warms up during the day and then it freezes at night, you get these big ruts. And it's like you're a streetcar. You're going down these ruts down the side lanes. And I find that it gets very, very slick because you get the thaw and freeze cycle because the temperature in Vancouver goes up above freezing during the day and then below freezing at night. And we get very icy conditions here. And we don't get a lot of snow, but I'm a big believer in invest in the right tire for the right conditions. So I am a winter tire guy. It doesn't matter. I have winter tires on my Toyota Tacoma. I have them on our Cayenne, and I'm going to get all weather tires for our Honda Civic. Haven't done it yet. I've been busy, but I will get to it. Your modeling tickled me. You're wonderful. Love watching you and Andrea. Well, appreciate that. Andrea's liking the feedback from everybody. Your feedback to the channel is definitely welcome. By the way, we haven't done this in a while. Can you guys all load up on your Instagram right now? And she'll get a kick out of this because she'll go on her phone and goes, how come I have so many new people on following me on Instagram? So go to motormouth_Andrea and follow Andrea. So how many people are on here now? We got over 200. So if you could get your Instagram open and go to motormouth_Andrea and follow along She'll like that. And it'll get me in the good books. And that's always good. Appreciate that. Dr. CHH, have you ever lived in the USA for an extended period of time, or Motor City? Nope, never lived in the US. Obviously visited many, many times until recently with COVID. Traveled to the US all the time because of car launches. I've been to Detroit many, many times. The first time I went to Detroit was in the early 90s for the Detroit Auto Show, and I've been back for many, many, many of them, and now that's delayed and moved. So yeah, never lived there. I lived close to, I lived in London, Ontario. London, Ontario, when I lived there was really quite cool because we got Cleveland TV, we got Detroit TV, so we got all this US TV channels. It was really cool. Scott Burke, from mid-November until mid-April, I use winter tires here in Halifax. I actually get an insurance discount for having them. I would hope that insurance companies would push this more. Maybe not a discount, but some kind of penalty. I am so sick and tired of seeing people with high-performance cars with the big wheels and basically summer tires spinning and stuck in the winter. It's like, you're an idiot. Just you're spending $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 on a performance German whatever, but you're a cheap ass and you won't put in winter tires. I think we're getting another super chat coming in here. Sorry guys, I'm just going through. All right, I didn't see it there. All right, let's get back to where we were. Richard Filippone. Andrea is much better than Zach. Well, thank you for that. So nice of you. How come manufacturers keep on claiming their cars are more reliable than the last model, even though they keep on reducing their warranty years and kilometers, including Toyota, Honda? Well, that's not true. Toyota and Honda have not decreased their warranty. Their warranties are exactly the same. In fact, Toyota has increased the warranty on their hybrids. They have added 10 years now on their batteries. I don't know what you're talking about. Toyota and Honda have not decreased the length and duration of their warranties. This is Bruce. I like this. It's funny. I did see this. Did you see Jerome McGinley on Boston TV? We're from Canada and have winter tires, so this winter's not too bad. Classic. I think, yeah, Jerome McGinley was in Boston with his family, and he was driving, and the news cameras were interviewing people about, they had a big nor'easter going through the East Coast with a winter storm, and Jerome McGinley, if you're not aware, is a real, one of my favorite hockey players, actually. Played for many years with the Calgary Flames, and that's why, I'll tell you the truth, my favorite team is the Vancouver Canucks because I live here in Vancouver. But my second favorite team, Calgary Flames. And a big part of that is because I thought Jerome McGinley was the greatest hockey player, just a class act, but also would drop the gloves and duke it out. So they had a camera, and they're asking people, they call them streeters. They ask people on the street, what do you think of the weather? And Jerome McGinley pipes up and says, well, we're Canadian, we're from Canada, we're used to the snow, and we have winter tires, so we're all good. I thought it was pretty funny. Retired hockey player. Hi, Zach. When the new Ford Explorer was released, heard they built and reliability issues. Do you know if those have been addressed? They did have some issues at the factory. I believe it's in Kentucky off the top of my head. Don't quote me, or Ohio, one of the two. Yeah, they did have issues. I would think that they probably have been resolved. But yeah, when they switched from the old platform to the new platform, and then they did have issues. So I don't really know any more about it. I'm sure there's lots of blogs and things that could tell you all about that. I hope auto shows come back after COVID. There will be auto shows. I think they're going to be different. Car manufacturers leading up to COVID were really putting auto shows under a microscope because they're very, very expensive for car manufacturers. So a lot of them were pulling back already, and then COVID hit, and then obviously we're all canceled. I think there's going to be maybe a few kind of super shows around the world, but there's going to be a lot less, and they're going to be a lot smaller. Jim Carson's here sooner than later this time. I'm not so late. Well, thanks for being here. Hey, Zach, is the late model of Murano same reliable as the one from early models? Well, the big bugaboo with the Murano is the continuously variable transmission. If you look online and you search Murano and you look up transmission issues, you'll get a lot of information on that. It does offer a lot of value. Okay, so it's a mid-size utility, and it's just slightly more expensive than a lot of compact utilities. So I'm not here to tell you no, don't try it and don't buy it, but go in with your eyes wide open, and you'll honestly get a deal on one. Go to CarCostCanada and see what the dealer pays for it. That is a perfect example of, go in knowing that there might be some issues when the car's out of warranty, maybe with the transmission, but you saved a lot of money on it, and just remember that if it needs to be fixed or replaced. So that's where I think that that plays. It is a very comfortable vehicle. It's quite roomy. There aren't really that many competitors to it. The Ford Edge would be one. But yeah, know that it's not without fault. TK Porsche. Genesis forgets that they lack the premium store network that all the other luxury brands have. Essential part of ownership experience. Well, they're trying to fix that. They're going to be building these sort of fulfillment locations where you order your car online and then you go not really to a dealer but to an experience center. They're going to be smaller, and they'll have one of every vehicle in the showroom, like they'll have a G70, GV70, and a G80 and so on. They'll have them all there, and that will be where the car is serviced as well, where they're going to come and pick it up and take it there. But you're right. That's one of the hardest things for brands to do. Look at Alfa Romeo, for example. They already had existing dealerships that put their hand up and said, we want to put in an Alfa store, but it's not the same experience as going to a big, beautiful Mercedes dealership or BMW dealership. And premium is such a tricky thing, how you get treated with a premium car, you kind of get spoiled by a lot of these brands when you own a nicer vehicle, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do it. 2014 Audi S4 or 17 RS3 for daily driver ski trips? Well, that is the easiest question I've had all day. An Audi RS3. Oh yeah, hell yeah. That is the one you want, dude. That beautiful 5-cylinder engine. My God, I would love one of those. Would love to see you do used car reviews. Well, I do used cars once in a while. Like, for example, there's a picture of the Pontiac Trans Am, and I do kind of like my Survivor series. There's only so much bandwidth I have, and so many hours and days and editing and shooting, and today was pick up and drop off car day. There's a lot going on. So I would love to be able to do all that, but it's just kind of just the two of us doing it. Hey Zach, why don't Chrysler and Dodge come up with new products? Their product is very outdated and should put efforts into new products. Well, not exactly true. They do have, it's mostly focused on the Jeep side. The Ram truck is just a couple of years old. Jeep is definitely a focus for them. You could almost call them the Jeep and Ram brand. That's where they make all their profits, and they do have new stuff there. For example, just picked up today the Gladiator from Jeep, and that vehicle's only been out for about a year and a half or so. There's a new Wrangler, there's a new Ram. But when it comes to passenger vehicles, yeah, you're probably right. But they modify them and they come out with updates to them regularly. The next one that we're all looking forward to is Grand Cherokee, same thing on the Jeep side. So your point is well taken, but that's not where they make all their money. They make their money on Jeep and Ram, and that's where they're focusing. Thoughts on Ford Bronco and Bronco Sport? Oh, we touched on this a little while earlier. I am not going to say anything one way or the other on the Bronco till I drive it. It's built on the Ranger platform. It's got the 2.3 liter turbocharged engine. I just really need to get in it and try it before I'm sold, right? I mean, it looks cool as hell. I think that is definitely a plus, but I want to drive it to see. Like the one thing about Wrangler, and we just had one recently a few weeks ago, is that they've been making that thing forever, right? And so since 1941. So you have a continuum of production and evolution and engineering refinement. And the new Wrangler is excellent. Now, it's not cheap, but the Bronco isn't going to be cheap either. But there's something to be said for, they've been doing it a long time, and they sure know how to do a good Jeep. Now, the Bronco Sport is just cashing in on the Bronco name. They're like, we're going to bring out a Bronco. You can take the roof off, the doors off, just like Wrangler. But we'll also cash in on that name and sell you a little utility. Basically, it's a Ford Escape, but boxy. That's what you got. It's just basically a way of cashing in on the name, exactly the way Ford is doing with the Mach-E, the Mustang Mach-E, the electric SUV. It's not a Mustang. It's the stupidest thing ever. But they're using the Mustang name because they think they can leverage it. That's what they're doing. Do you follow stocks? Yes, I do. What are your thoughts on Tesla valuation? I think it's totally absurd. You think about the companies that are worth so much less than Tesla, like Toyota. Like, if you just wanted to take a poster child for how to run a highly successful car company, Toyota would be your poster child for that. Tesla isn't that. Tesla is going to struggle to get 500,000 cars produced this year, okay? Amazing accomplishment. I didn't think they would get there, but they're going to. But that's what Toyota will make in 1.5 car plants. They make 10 plus million cars a year, not 500,000 cars. And they sell them in jurisdictions all over the world in all different kinds of shapes and sizes. They have engineering that would choke a camel. So just think about what the valuation of Tesla. They're selling the future. Oh, I wanted to bring this up. This is good that you brought this up. They're selling the future, and that they're going to be the dominant electric car player from here into time immemorial. But here's the news flash for you. The number one place in the world for electric car penetration is Norway. Norway has massive subsidies, basically tax breaks, if you buy an electric car. And the vast majority of people take their government up on that offer. Because, first of all, it's not a huge country. I think there's 4 or 5 million people in the entire place. And they have, they're the richest country in the world. They have a $1 billion sovereign wealth fund, and they subsidize electric car purchases. And all of that money that they have in the bank came from oil. That's right. They sold oil and gas. Isn't that ironic? So they have the largest penetration of electric car sales anywhere in the world. So if you're a Norwegian and you're buying a new car, you'd be a fool to buy a regular gasoline or diesel vehicle because the tax savings are so great on electric vehicles. Tesla, out of the top 10 vehicles that are sold in Norway, is number 7. The Model 3 is number 7. The number 1 vehicle is Audi e-tron. And quickly, that's moved into number 2 spot is the Volkswagen ID.3, followed by the Volkswagen e-Golf. And then there's an MG. I'm not really familiar with that, but they have an electric MG that they sell in Norway as well. So if you look at that, that's just a sort of a snapshot into the future, okay? Tesla isn't the dominant player in the number 1 market in the world for electric vehicles. Not in terms of volume, China is that, but in penetration, the largest percentage of people buy electric cars. Tesla isn't the winner. It's the Volkswagen Group vehicles so far have been the winner. And Audi e-tron is a very expensive vehicle. Once again, Norwegians are rich, so that's part of the reason why. But the Volkswagen ID.3, their Volkswagen Golf replacement for electric vehicle, has quickly catapulted in Norway to the number 2 spot. and not Tesla. So is that a harbinger of things to come? Is that what might happen to Tesla in other jurisdictions, maybe in North America, when other brands come online, when we see the new Nissan Ariya, when we see the Mach-E being produced in big numbers, when we see the Volkswagen ID4 coming in big numbers, and so on and so on and so on. For example, I live very close to I don't live in this neighborhood, a very affluent neighborhood near me, which is called Shaughnessy. And the number of Taycans that I've seen over the last couple of months is amazing. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. And what are your thoughts on the Lucid Air? Any chance you'll be able to test drive it in the future? Thank you, Zach. I'm going to reach out to them and ask. It is going to be available in Canada, but nothing to report on that yet. Do you think the Hyundai Elantra N will be a good deal compared to its rivals? I'm trying to remember. I think that the price has been announced. I have to look into it. Yeah, I mean, what do they do at Hyundai and Kia? They give you more for your money. Okay? They give you more for your money. So yes. Somebody wrote back, purpose of life is Starbucks. I think the purpose of life is Starbucks if you have a fine arts degree. You can write your own jokes. Have you noticed that the Porsche GT4 is not selling well? I noticed of inventory in Ontario. I wonder what the resale value will be. Now, Raj, I suspect that the GT4 maybe isn't selling as well because what did they bring out? They brought out the Boxster and Cayman GTS 4.0. Similar engine to the GT4. I believe off the top of my head, the horsepower difference really not much in it. And it's a better everyday car to get the Boxster or the Cayman GTS with the 4-liter engine because it's more comfortable. A GT4 is more of a sharper sort of track-ready car, especially with those hardback seats that you can't really recline. If I was going to be buying one of those cars, it wouldn't be the GT4, it would be the Boxster GTS. So I think it's just basically they've come out with a hot car that is going to sell incredibly well. I can't wait for the GTS 4-liter to be sold used in 3 or 4 years. That is what I'm interested in buying. And I think that's exactly what the issue is. There's not as many people who want a track-ready car as there are people who want a great on-road car. And that's where the GTS plays. Harley Chow says, hi, Zach. Hello back to you. Stefan says, 2 NFL games today. Pittsburgh, Washington, 17-17 in the fourth quarter. That's probably... Oh, and he also says, the meaning of life is beer. I thought it was women. Hey, Zach, you seem to like the direction Mercedes-Benz is going with their new product. Fair statement? Yes. I did I don't want to tell too much, but it's not like a top secret or anything. But at Motoring TV, if you're not aware, I one of the hosts at Motoring TV. They asked me to come up with my favorite cars of the year, and I actually picked the Mercedes-Benz, not as my favorite, but one of my favorites. The small family of vehicles. That includes the A-Class, the GLA, the CLA, and the GLB. This new small family of vehicles from Mercedes-Benz, I think, are just fantastic. Nicely put together, great interiors, a load of fun to drive. Like that GLA video we put out a couple of weeks ago, I thought that car is fantastic. I think they did a very good job. So yes, I do like what they're doing. Zach, Hot Pockets and Flaming Hot Cheetos. Not sure where you're going with that, but I like me a chip. Stella and not a Molson. No, I'm not a Molson guy. One of the best names for a dog. My aunt and uncle lived in North Toronto, and their next door neighbors had a golden retriever. And the dog's name was Molson Golden. I thought that was a great name for a dog. Richard Filipponi is saying, has it snowed there yet? No. Snow in the mountains. The great thing about Vancouver, we have snow on demand. You want snow? You just drive up to the mountains and you can go skiing. Peter's here. Syracuse, New York in the house. Well, Syracuse, New York, you're almost an honorary Canadian. You're so close. Greatest bowl of soup. I like that handle. That's a good handle. Hey, Zach, do you prefer 9th Gen Accord with V6 in manual or the 10th Gen 2.0 in manual? Well, I kind of have a soft spot for the V6 manual. It's actually a video I did that still gets a lot of views. It's several years old. It was an Accord, like the rare spotted owl, right? An Accord Coupe V6 manual, right? But I thought it was so cool that I got to drive one of those, because when I started reviewing cars in the 90s, it was not uncommon to get a press car that was a mid-sized car. Like I can remember driving a Maxima with a V6 and a manual transmission. I remember driving, what other cars? Yeah, like Accords, all that kind of stuff. So definitely unique and fun. I mean, it would run for a long time. It's not going to have the amenities of the new Accord, but certainly cool. Broker by Josh. There's Josh in Montreal. Nice to see you, brother. Hey, Zach, SQ7 to me seems like the ultimate 3-row family SUV. If you need a 7-seater competitor to your Cayenne, would this be your pick? I did think it was fantastic. I just think that Q7 and the SQ7 specifically, there it is there, Andrew's standing in front of it. The finish on that was just absolutely gorgeous. And you know what's interesting, because within 3 or 4 weeks of each other, I drove the GV80, right, which is nice. And then I got in this car and I was like, oh my God, I can see that Genesis is trying to compete with this, but I really do believe that the Audi interior is just next level. In fact, I think the interior in that car is better than Cayenne. It's better than Mercedes-Benz. It's just absolutely gorgeous. The seats, the quality, the finish, the stitching, the fit and finish is just spectacular. I'm not a big fan of throwing money at a big thirsty V8. But yeah, one hell of a car. All right, we're going to go down. I saw a super chat there. Super chat. There's John. Hey, John. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy you a Porsche 911. See, there you go. What's the meaning of life? The meaning of life is make enough money so you can have a nice car, and you can. And here's the thing: is to fly business class, to have the lie flat seats when you're going on a big international trip. There is nothing. Did you ever remember the Seinfeld episode where there was one business class seat? And they're all getting on the plane. And I think Jerry said, have you ever flown business class before? And they said, no. And they said, well, you don't know what you're missing, so I'm going to take the ticket. And he went up to the front of the plane. So, yeah. Having a 911, fantastic. Flying business class, that's also the meaning of life. Does this sound shallow or what? How shallow are we? Well, there you go. How shallow are you, Zach? And I'm spoiled because I used to fly pretty much every single week. And because, hey look, there's my plane. There's my 1,000,000-mile airplane I got from Air Canada. You fly 1,000,000 miles with Air Canada, they give you one of these. And so there's my Air Canada Dreamliner. So because I flew so much, I would, if I didn't have a business class seat, I would often get a business class seat. So I was spoiled. Hey, would you look for a used 18 RAV4 Limited or hope to get a good deal on a 2020 XLE? I'm a big fan of the previous generation RAV4. Now, it doesn't have the same level of refinement on the inside as, say, the new one, but actually the radio in that and the head unit is actually pretty good. My mother-in-law has the exact same vehicle. I don't think she has the Limited. She's got a 2018 though. It's got a great engine, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. It's got a bulletproof transmission, the 6-speed automatic, and it's a great product. Now, do your shopping and see what you can figure out. Go to CarCostCanada, sign up, use the promo code, and go for it. But yeah, I there's absolutely no shame in driving the previous gen RAV4. I think it's a great product. In fact, it will run forever if you maintain it. The meaning of life is to drive hard till the engine dies. Depends whose car it is. Because then all of a sudden life comes crashing down and you got to replace the engine. Hey, Zach, love the live chat. Will Hyundai make the Sonata wagon? Maybe, but not here. We're not getting a wagon. If you could bring back one Honda model, what would it be and why? Honda model I would bring back? Probably the S2000. That's an easy one. Even though I didn't like the S2000. I'm one of the outliers. There's a lot of people who love the S2000. I can clearly remember driving it when it was introduced several times. And I'll take a Miata over an S2000. I just think that for just fun and to have an option, that would be the one I'd probably want to bring back. Okay. Yeah, Yankee Doodle's replying back about the Touareg TDI. He's had it for 2 years as well. Yeah. So I have the same. We're talking about his TDI diesel and my Cayenne diesel. I just think it's a great vehicle, and because if it was not registered to anybody before, it's got an extra long warranty on all the expensive stuff that could go on it. So my goal with our Cayenne is just to keep it as long as I can. And we don't do a lot of mileage on it anyway, so we're going to have it for a long time. I think it's a great product. My Corrado is a 93 with a production date of 1091. Well, because in that's a bit odd, but yeah, they would produce cars in Europe pretty much for a year before they were available here in North America. I think 92, if I'm not mistaken, was the first year for Corrado in North America. See if I missed any super chats here. You guys are loading me up on super chats because I told you it was my birthday next week. But next Monday, the day after my birthday, you guys can load up on super chats. Thank you for CarCostCanada, Zach. A dealership contacted me within 2 hours of me checking price and offered $2,000 less than at any other dealership. Well, how easy is that? There you go. The great thing about CarCostCanada is you're going to find out what the dealer paid for the car, any incentives, rebates, any hidden, special money on the table that you're maybe not aware of. And if you want them to broker a deal for you, you can call their customer service line and say, hey, I don't really want to do this. Can you put me in touch with a friendly dealer? And they can do it. And in this case with James, they reached out in advance. So the dealers that are smart and want to do the business will put their best foot forward. So there's nothing to lose. Like, sign up, use the promo code Motormouth. You get the first 5 searches free. Go for it. 2021 CRV Touring versus 2021 Mazda CX-5 GT Turbo. Which one is better overall? The CX-5, absolutely. Plus, there's going to be a new CRV coming. Okay, so if it was my money and I wanted one, it would be the Mazda. Boston Ma, hey Zach, good to see you, brother. I haven't seen you in a while. Where do you shoot your videos for Core Cars? So those are the sort of survivor cars I get. These cars that have I don't know where they get these cars with like no miles. This car is a almost 22-year-old Trans Am. The video went on the channel last week. It's got 2,700 miles on it in 22 years. It's crazy. I shoot them mostly in Burnaby, East Vancouver, and North Vancouver. So Core Cars is right on the border of Vancouver and Burnaby. And then I'll shoot. This was shot at the P&E. That's right where that's shot. You see all the seats there behind it. That's where they used to do the demolition derby for the P&E. I also shoot in North Vancouver and SFU. I go to SFU. When you were in Cape Breton, just noticed the Chick-a-Lick on the screen behind you. Fantastic chicken. So there's a place in Cape Breton called Lick-a-Chick. I bought Andrea a pair of panties there. It says they sell underwear. It's a chicken place where you buy fried chicken, which is very, very good. And it's called Lick-a-Chick, and they sell panties, and they say Lick-a-Chick on the front. You know, what's a guy going to do? I was the only guy who bought them. There was like 30 people there, and I'm saying, excuse me, do you have small panties in black? That was me. I'm that guy. Boston Ma, how's the new Civic? What's the gas mileage on it you've been getting? I don't know, dude, because the car doesn't really get driven that much. We've been driving it a bit, but we've put 1 tank of gas in it. We bought it with 41,000 kilometers. It still has 41,000 kilometers on it, so check back with me. I don't know. There's so many cars around here at any given time. Like this week, there's 2 press cars. Last week, there was 2 press cars. Then we have 3 cars. It's crazy. There's too many cars around here. Are you planning on doing one video or multiple videos using GV80 that you're going to get over the holiday period? Avika is how I say it, I think. There's already a video on the channel. Okay, so go and watch that. So that one is done. And then we'll do the Andrea and I, he said, she said video. We're going to do that, okay? Last week, I asked your opinion of $8.99 etching fee. I'm glad you came back. Thanks for your advice. The GM basically told me I was entitled to my opinion, but he doesn't care. So I think I'll buy my Forester over the Rogue. Okay, John Wild, thank you for getting back to me. Actually, a few people commented after the fact or reached out to me and said, thank you for bringing this up. So this $8.99 etching fee is the biggest crock in the auto industry. And I'm glad that you took my advice and called the general manager and said that it's just a money grab. So I don't know where you live, John, but I've noticed this in areas where there's a higher concentration of new immigrants. I'm not sure where you live, but I've seen this where these dealerships prey on people who are new to the country. They don't know maybe how to buy a car in North America, and the dealer tells them that you have to do this, and they just take it and they go, oh, okay. Well, he says I have to pay it. I've got to pay it. Now, I'm guessing that's not your case with a name like John Wild, but there are pockets of the country where I've seen this happen before, and I think it's a predatory practice. So what he's talking about is you go to buy a car, and then the dealer puts a charge on there. They say $8.99 for etching, and they basically put a code and they etch it on the glass of the car. It's nothing more than an $899 cash grab. If a dealer says to you, you need to do this, tell them to go stuff it, and then take your money and drive down the street and go to another dealer. So in this case, it was a Nissan dealer. Well, there's loads of Nissan dealers. Go buy it somewhere else. And then phone the general manager back, which it sounds like you did. You said, thanks for your advice. The general manager basically told me I was entitled to my opinion, but he doesn't care. So I think I'll buy a Forester over the Rogue. Well, there you go. This is the number one thing I tell people. Vote with your wallet. It's your money. Don't let these people treat you like this. This guy's a dick. He's trying to get close to $1,000 out of your pocket and into his for doing nothing. You do not buy etching for your car at the dealership. It's a waste of money. So I'm glad that you're taking your money elsewhere, and I'm glad you told them off. So please do not fall for this crap. And if you're questioning, email me. Let me know. I'll help you out. Hey, Zach, can someone get the Toyota RAV4 Prime to be used without ever plugging in and still get the benefits? May not have the connection capability right away. We do long commutes. Yes, absolutely. It's basically the good old RAV4 hybrid. So my question to you is, if you don't have the ability to plug it in yet, just get a RAV4 hybrid. That's what you're buying, but now you're lugging around a heavier battery. So, you know, is it going to be a year, 2 years? You know, if it's basically going to be long-term before you can plug it in, just get a RAV4 hybrid. And then when the hype, comes down with this Prime, it might be easier to get one. But if you can't plug it in and you have your heart set on getting one, it's basically going to be very similar to the RAV4 hybrid. From the early reviews, the Bronco Sport looks promising, although interiors are not great for the price. I'm looking forward to a review in the Badlands trim. Well, You know what's interesting? I emailed the head of PR at Ford of Canada today because I've seen a couple of pictures of the Mach-E electric car in Canada with certain journalists getting to drive it. And I said, what's the deal? You've got a white one in Toronto and you've got a red one in Montreal, nothing on the West Coast. And she said they were shipped up from Michigan for North American Truck of the Year jurors to drive, and then they're going back. But there's going to be some early vehicles coming soon. So as soon as I can get any of these, whether it's the Bronco or the Mach-E, I'll certainly get my hands on them. My 22-year-old Jeep Grand Cherokee is on its last legs. What now? Get another one. I love the Grand Cherokee. Hey, Zach, how do you feel about Mazda's plan to go inline six and rear-wheel drive? I love the brand and really want to see them succeed, but I'm very worried for them. I don't know about that. They've got the backing of Toyota. If you're not familiar, Toyota has taken a bigger chunk of Subaru, and they're there to share development costs. So I think they're going to be fine. Yeah, the inline six-cylinder rear-wheel drive, maybe they're going to come out with something, and BMW does not need to be in the picture any longer to provide an inline six-cylinder for Supra. Could that be? We'll have to wait and see. James is here. Oh, we already did that one, I think. Yeah, we did that. We did that super chat already. Where are we at the time? We're after 6, but we got 300 people on board. I really like that. Well, just a couple minutes longer here. Once again, we did the pictures off the beginning. If you want to get your picture on the live show, send them to me, zach@motormouth.ca, zack@motormouth.ca, or zack@motormouth.ca. Do you think American car manufacturers will get in trouble in the future if oil prices go up? Sure, they're turning back on small cars. Yeah, but you've got to remember that the domestic car companies, especially Ford and General Motors, are investing a lot in plug-in technology and electrification. There's going to be a whole slew of General Motors cars coming that are electrified. So their answer to that, you're right though, I mean, if there was a major jump in oil prices, they couldn't fill the void quickly and inexpensively. There are some exceptions, like for example, the Chevrolet Spark is still available, cheap. Fun little car, actually a great little car for the price. So they do have some things, but you're right. The other thing is that they can also rebadge cars they sell in other parts of the world and import them. Hey Zach, has it ever bothered to you that Ferdinand Porsche's political beliefs? I know much time has passed, but it sometimes gets my head. Well, Ferdinand Porsche, probably what you're referring to, is the father of Porsche and produced the Beetle for the Nazis and Adolf Hitler as a people's car. That was a long time ago and a different era, and there was a lot of people who got caught up in that movement in Germany and Austria at the time. So I don't really know much about his political beliefs. I know more about the history of the cars than I do about his political beliefs, but not sure what else I can say about that. Austin Hitchcock, what a great name. What's your name? My name is Austin Hitchcock. Best mid-size 3-row SUV. I'm looking at a new Sorento CX-9, captain's seats out of my price range, Telluride Palisade. I could go cap seat Sorento or entry-level Palisade. I would say, I see what you're saying. You could go captain seats in the Sorento or entry-level Palisade. Well, I haven't driven the new Sorento. I get it in 2 weeks. So if you're not in a big rush, stay tuned. The video probably won't be out for about a month, though. So I'm not sure what kind of rush you're in, Austin Hitchcock. But if I was to give you my advice today, it would certainly be Palisade. But please, if you're not in a rush, The new Sorrento video I will have done for you as soon as I get it over the holidays, and then I've got to edit it and put it out. But that's the best I can do for you. All right, we've gone well over an hour now. Thanks to everybody for being here. I'm going to go and eat dinner. I don't even know what we're eating tonight, but it's going to be good. All right, thanks, everybody. We'll chat soon. Take care, and I'll see you next Monday. Remember, it's my birthday on Sunday, so I want you to all load up on Super Chats next week. Don't be so cheap. Give some love to the Zach Man. All right? We'll talk then. Take it easy.